Bluetonic 78. I'm actually going to have to check how long I've been wittering for. 40 minutes. Not quite as long as the last one, but so you know, I'm back. Bluetonic 78. Bluetonic 78. This is a funny one. We've been PMing backwards and forwards, and I told him a story about when I encounter I had with Lee Dixon, and it's not much of a story, to be honest. It's sort of a story with no end, and it just ended with me hating the guy ever since. But for no particular reason, actually, if you think about it. But can you recite your Lee Dixon anecdote in all its glory? You know, this is it. This is it. My friend is an Arsenal supporter, and he used to be a member of the Junior Gunners. And it's when they still had terraces, and we go and stand in the Junior Gunners every so often. And I think it was a midweek game against Norwich City, and we're standing over sort of one corner, and there were railings that ran all the way along the outside of the pitch, and there was sort of a little trough at the outside of the railings. And we'd stand on one side of the railings, and obviously all the footballers on the other side. And I was standing right at the front, and the ball came over to me. And it was sort of right at the bottom of the trough, and I thought, oh, this is my big opportunity. I'm going to reach down and sort of grab the ball and throw it to Lee Dixon. And I couldn't. I was stretching down and I couldn't grab it. I was like, just like, and he came over. He came right over. He saw this is a mid-game. He went, come on, like that. And I thought to myself, I don't know, I was about 12 or 13. I thought, that's rude. You have to talk to me like that, you rude bastard. And ever since, it's just sort of stuck with me that Lee Dixon is a rude son of a gun. And I've hated him ever since. And I have to, any time he's on Match of the Day 2, I have to shout at the telly and shout and swear at him at the telly. See, it's not much of a story. It's just about I sort of, as a kid, I just totally disregarded the fact that he was in the middle of he's doing his job in the middle of an intense football match, and I've got a feeling they were even losing at the time. So it's even, you know, sort of more understandable. But then that I just disregarded that, totally forget about that, and now I hate the bastard. Everybody else is watching this. Ask him about his Vinnie Jones story, because that's a lot more impressive. Or his story about when you were a ball boy for Bournemouth. Those two, the Vinnie Jones and the Bournemouth ball boy story, are a lot more impressive than my rubbish Lee Dixon story with no end. Politically, question number 2. Politically, where do you tend to lean? Well, it's almost inevitable that which way my political allegiances will lie, because although I never met him, one of my granddads was communist, and we had pictures of Karl Marx up in our on our wall for a good few years. My dad worked in print for the Guardian, obviously like a liberal paper, but he was also what they referred to as Father of the Chapel, which is sort of like the equivalent of like a shop steward. So I keep getting my reflection in the window, and I keep thinking it's someone outside, it's not actually me. But yeah, he was like the equivalent of a shop steward, like a union rep for these for the Guardian print workers, and he went on he went on the picket line, and he was right at the front, and so he's obviously always been a Labour supporter, which I know I should be able to think independently now I'm a fully functioning adult, but it's ingrained that there's no way I could ever vote Conservative, because it seems like it's so much less progressive than liberal politics. Being a Conservative, there's too much of this system where they feel like they've got a divine right to rule or a divine right to govern because of this. It's sort of entrenched in this class system, whereas liberal politics is sort of the opposite. It's sort of like traditionally seeks to break the class system, whereas conservative politics is all about the class system. And I mean, you look at, conservative politics is too much of this old boys club. I mean, you just have to look at that photo of the Bullingdon. The Bullingdon from Eton. Is it Eton or Oxford or Cambridge? I can't remember, but it's David Cameron, Boris Johnson, and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, who I've forgotten his name. And the fact that these three men, who were obviously friends at university, are now three of the most powerful men in Britain. It doesn't scream of that we're living in a meritocracy. It doesn't say that they were given these roles because of how good they are at the job. They were given these roles because of who their mate was, and they were bred to rule, and that doesn't sit well with me. I mean, obviously, politics isn't that clear cut anymore because it's less. It's more cynical than it used to be. There are no divides. You know, there's PR and there's spin doctoring, stuff like that. And David Cameron and his PR. No, I can never vote for Conservative. And I think Maggie Thatcher is the Antichrist. It might get a bit of hate for that. I don't know. What are your favourite 80s cartoons? I think that I've been talking about this. Wow, there's so many. Depends how far you go back. I mean, you go back far enough. I'm thinking like the Mr. Men. I used to love the Mr. Men. Love it. And I'll still watch it now, if it's ever on. Not that I've seen it in years. Bod. Do you ever remember Bod? With brilliant soundtrack. Nice. That's number 9. Number 9, isn't it? But things like Mr. Ben. This is quite early stuff. Then what else did we have? We had moving slightly further on, like Thundercats, He-Man. Although one of my favourites was always Ulysses. Ulysses 31. I think it was Ulysses 31. I always forget the number at the end. Because that just used to spook me, because I didn't like the idea of just this sort of never-ending journey. And there's one episode in particular where they're walking up this never-ending staircase, which just used to scare the shit out of me. Just the idea. He-Man, thinking back about them now, so many of our 80s cartoons were to do with selling toys to little kids. You didn't think of that at the time, but looking back, you think, shit, yeah, I totally bought it hook, line and sinker. And you see a cartoon and you go and badger your mum and dad for the toys afterwards. Transformers, exactly the same. And it's, nowadays they have Pokemon, but now that's even more. It's less naive than it used to be. It's even more cynical and refined and effective. So yeah, another bitter end to that one. So Ulysses, I would say. I have fond memories of Ulysses. You spot someone stealing something in the store, what do you do? I don't know really, to be honest. I sort of have sort of weird previews of this. Me and my mate were in Boots once, a long time. It's when they used to sell video games. And it was when the Game Boy was out, and these two local ne'er-do-wells came up to us and tried to get us to help. They sort of half threatened us, half sort of encouraged us to help them steal a load of Game Boy add-ons, you know, like the Game Boy Light and the Game Boy Magnifier and stuff like that. And we were shitting our pants because the area we were was quite rough, and they were two like rough dudes, and we were only little, we didn't know what to do. So and his boots still had those almost like an upside down Dalek on the ceiling. You know those black sort of cameras like that, and I was shitting my pants. So I sort of, right, took the bull by the horns, picked up. They said, right, take that stuff from there to there, and we'll nick it. And I just picked up this stuff and just ignored what they said and just walked over and dumped it on the shelf, and then we legged it, and they were like, ugh. So obviously I didn't sort of help their cause, but I was generally shitting my pants as a little nipper, or a teen, no, sort of pre-teen. I was about 12 or 13, I think. But so I sort of bottled it really, but I would go and tell the authorities if I ever saw it again. I'd go, no, I probably would actually. I don't know, yeah. I don't want to look like I'm a snitch, but some things, you know, some people just can't get away with this stuff, can they? That was a crap answer. You possess a superpower of your choice for only 24 hours. Which one would it be? It would be. This is so easy in these questions like this to give like a really boring answer. It would be. Has anyone seen Misfits? Could rip off one of theirs. I've always had flying dreams, and in these flying dreams, that it just seems just the most natural thing in the world. You get like caught by the wind and you take off, and there's no reason why that shouldn't happen in this dream, and it always seems really appealing. Just flying, not have to go anywhere, just sort of like float about. That's not my superpower, that's just farting around, isn't it? Twatting about. Invisibility. Oh, shall I say invisibility? That's for the dirty people. Oh no, but invisibility would be brilliant. Talk to animals, there you go. I'd like to be able to talk to animals. Let them do my bidding. I'd create a little animal army and go around terrorising gangsters for 24 hours. And then I'd go and live in exile away from the people that I pissed off. This is question 6, so it says 5, because you've got 2 5s. When lounging around the house, socks on or socks off? Well, I tend to get cold feet, so this is no word of a lie. For quite a long time through the year, I do tend to wear 2 pairs of socks. Socks off only when it's the height of summer and it's boiling hot. I think, yeah. Pardon me, sorry. So generally, socks off, 2 pairs of socks, unless it's boiling hot. Which established actor would you have play yourself in Own the Movie? Oh, that'd be a shit film. Well, I've got a choice of 2 because I have thought about this before. I would have either Ben Stiller if it was a comedy, or Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti from American Splendor and Sideways, and he played Pig Vomit in Private Parts, and he's a brilliant actor. But plays, I think he played, what he played? He played the guy. No, that's not going to come to me. But he was in this drama about this contemporary of George Washington. What's his name? Anybody American out there is going to be shouting at the screen. What's his name? but he was that character. He was one of George Washington's contemporary. But I just think, I remember the first time I saw Private Parts, and I didn't realise that he was actually an actor playing a part. I thought he was a real person, because what did help, because obviously Howard Stern was playing himself, so that sort of confused it slightly. But I just think he's a sort of brilliant actor. But neither of those are particularly cool. I think Ben Stiller's not cool, is he? Actually, the superhero one, has anyone ever seen Mystery Men? I'd quite like to be the Sphinx. I'd like his superpowers. I'd like to be mysterious. And chop guns in half. So Paul Giamatti or Ben Stiller. But neither of those two are cool, so I'd have to say, if I was going for someone who kicks ass, let's say Donnie Yen. Is it Donnie Yen? I always forget his name. Tony Leung. Actually, I prefer Tony Leung, actually. He was in Hero, and was he in House of Flying Daggers? He's a famous Hong Kong actor, Tony Leung. And he kicks ass in Hero. It's just unmatched skills. I don't think he's sort of naturally a kung fu sort of practitioner, but certain films he actually does his own kung fu. So, but probably I'd have to go with Paul Giamatti. Realistically, Paul Giamatti or Ben Stiller. And then this last question. Russell Brand offers you $1 million to sleep with him. Yes, no, or maybe. These extreme hypothetical questions, I think if anybody ever asks one of these questions, they should be forced to answer it themselves before they even ask it. Well, my reflex reaction is to say no. But if you put Kate Perry in the mix, put Kate Perry into the mix, invite her along to sweeten the deal a bit, and then they turn up, and then Russell Brand drops his kecks. While she's watching, I'll deliver a swift kick to the nuts. He'll go down crumpled like a sack of spuds, and then I'll whisk her away with my $1 million, and we'll go and live on an island somewhere, and she'll forget about him because I bested him physically. So I'll pull a fast one, and I'll kick him in his exposed nuts. So what would you do, mate? I bet I know. I think that's it. That's his last questions. I keep Russell Brand money. Kick him in the goolies. I think that'll be it for now. How long have we got? Oh, about the same amount. That's quite a good timing actually. So 2 videos of 2 hours. I couldn't say how much further I've got to go. What a nice way to finish. Would you let Russell Brand bugger you for $1 million? Also, I don't think I'm quite at the stage where I want to go into a career of rent boyism and buggery. So I think I'll stop there. Right, yeah. There's quite a few left. So thanks for anybody who asked questions. Apart from Bluetonic for that last one. It's not funny. Answer it yourself. And yeah. Sorry, there's people walking past and just staring at me. I'm talking to myself. So thanks for watching. Come back for, I don't know, it's probably about another, wow. Actually it's not that many. But thanks for watching, and come back for the next round. We're along very soon. See you later.